financial problems, elder law, criminal law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Ken. A pleasure to be here in this cold, wintry,
Good morning,
nutty
Jeff.
state.
Morning, Ken.
Good morning, Pat.
Good morning.
Okay, today's topic, debt relief under Chapter 7 and tax law.
There's a light, fun topic for the morning.
Well, we're going into 2024. We're remembering our benchmark for 2024 with financial integrity, getting rid of your debt, putting yourself in a way where you're saving for retirement, taking care of your elder law issues so that you make sure that if you need to go into a nursing home, you preserve your assets and you preserve your future. So I thought we should start off here and kind of get to the basics of Chapter 7.
You know, I want to say that I'm
tax
so
law.
proud of you in fulfilling your
Resolution?
to
Thank
talk more about elder law on these shows. It's been 1 week. Congratulations.
Thank you. We're proud of that. That's good. So
Let's
I
see
can
how
put
many
this
weeks it can
down
last.
and put this down. You want to sign this, please? No.
We were only here for
a
1 week.
little bit too soon. Okay. What's the goal? You want to eliminate debt at the least cost and in the fastest manner.
Absolutely. And the method to do that most effectively, if it's available, is Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Wipe out your debts, get a fresh start. Eliminate your debt, keep what you own, get rid of what you owe.
So-
it can't be any simpler than that.
It is. I have my wife sent me with a question. We were watching the show last Sunday, and she goes, and how do the 3-point retirement and getting rid of the debt? That's horrible. You'll never get it back. Why would you do it? That's the last thing on her mind, and I couldn't get through her
What do you mean?
about filing bankruptcy. She thought filing
It's a stigma.
absolutely, positively the worst
So
thing
there's
on
a,
the
there's a
planet.
generational thing right
Yeah.
now that
Explain to her that I couldn't
filing
explain.
bankruptcy, the older you are, the more ingrained into your head that you've got is work hard, pay your bills, and all good things will happen to you. But the reality is that you work hard, pay your bills, and then when you run into a calamity of some sort, your money gets eaten up and there's nothing left. So when you, for your elderly clients, when you're doing basic elder law planning, one of the things you should be telling them is beyond don't give your money to your kids and don't pay your kids' bills with it because you won't get into the nursing home because Medicaid won't pay for it.
All right.
The other thing you should be telling them is stand tough with those kids regardless of whether or not there's ever a nursing home, because if you force them to make decisions to get themselves out of their debt, then grandma and grandpa will have money to live on.
So
But you're getting a little off.
No, but yeah, so and that point, so the kids say, well, I got to go to my parents because I can never get a car if I file bank. I can never get a house
But that's
loan.
not
No, no,
true.
no.
Well, that's
all
what they
those
believe.
things
Yeah,
are false.
That's
Explain
our-
to
You
Why is that
file a
false?
Chapter 7 bankruptcy, literally, as long as you've got a job, there's somebody that'll finance you into a new car 2 weeks later. And getting into a house, is it more difficult to get into a house? Right after a bankruptcy, the answer is yes. But within 4 years, you're going to be eligible for standard HUD, FHA, VA mortgages. And
on
your
top of that,
credit score will heal and get better.
We see all the time, and I talk to people all the time that are older, that are coming in. I had a client this last week. He owns his house. He can't work because, in fact, we have to get Jeff back here, and maybe he's got a disability claim, but he's had some surgeries and he can't work. He was a home refinisher, a very fancy work. Can't work, so he's got no money coming in. He's got credit card debt, and his Social Security and the obligations he's paying, if he pays zero on his credit card debt, he was $150 underwater. So we had to figure out how we find that $150. We got him a mortgage modification, and we factored in you're going to pay nothing on your credit cards. He's sitting there worried about his credit score. I'm saying to him,
Forget it.
We're worried about him eating.
Yeah.
you already
Bills,
have a
prescription.
house. You're not buying another one.
Yeah.
You don't have a job other than you're on Social Security. You can't work right now. Why are you worried about your credit score? You got to worry about the $150 that we have to make up between your Social Security and the money coming in. And he says, you're right. Some people, it's completely irrelevant. But credit scores heal. And the bigger point that you have to make for the person in their 50s or in their 40s or in their 60s, they got $100,000 of credit card debt. Interest on the credit cards is $25,000
Right,
a year.
you'll never get rid of it.
To pay the $25,000, they've got to make $35,000, $40,000 to pay their taxes.
Yep.
They're giving away half of their income or a third of their income on the credit card debt. If they do that, what is the chance of them ever putting money away for retirement?
Zero.
So what's more important? Filing bankruptcy, getting rid of the credit card debt so that they can then take their money and start saving it for retirement? Or I don't want to have a bankruptcy on my name. I don't want to hurt my credit score.
It's
I just
already
want to
already
make
right
sure
now.
that when I'm 65, I'm broke, I have no money, I have no retirement, and hopefully my kids will support me. That's the choice. It's not a choice. You have to take care of yourself and your family. You do that by getting rid of the debt. And
You
there
should
is no
consider
stigma.
the importance of a bankruptcy for many people is just as important as the importance of going to the gym. It's something that needs to be done. Nobody likes it, but at the end of the
Wait,
day,
what do you mean nobody likes it?
likes working out. You're weird.
I completely disagree with you, but go on. I don't want to.
And-
You know why?
interrupt your
Because
chain
you're
of thought.
disciplined and you got passionate about it at a young age. Passionate to keep the debt off, passionate to keep working out,
Right.
passionate to
But the
save.
thing about it is that you do what you need to do to get from point A to point B. If that means that you have a bankruptcy, it's just
How
going to
long
be
does
an
it take to get
intervening
a
blip.
credit card back after a bankruptcy?
Oh my goodness, you get credit cards within 6 months.
Really?
Yeah. It's crazy.
I
Don't
want to
worry, I can
address
back-
a couple. I want to address a basic premise of what you just said, and I disagree with it, and I think it's an important point, and I'm going to do it after the break.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Pat was recommended by a friend who insisted that we really needed a trust. And he said, I know somebody who will do a good job for you.
At Simasco Law, we deal with estate planning and trusts every day.
We had excellent service from Samasco. Any questions we had were addressed. Our estate is in order, and it had been set up so well that nothing needed to be done. I would just highly recommend Samasco.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
I'm going to prove you wrong.
Okay.
Your example was nobody likes going to the gym, but you have to go to the gym. That's, I think, the wrong assumption. Just like you happen to like budget management.
No.
You enjoy it.
No, I enjoy helping people with it.
Don't you feel good about doing it in your own life? Don't you feel good about your finances being in order?
Of course.
Okay, that's the positive endorphin. Is that the right word?
Endorphin.
That comes from budget management. Working out is something that some people enjoy because by working out, they know they're taking care of their body, they're keeping themselves in shape, they're putting themselves in a position where they'll live longer and healthier, so they feel good about it. You have to feel good about the things you commit to do, or you'll never get them done. You can't go to the gym because you have to go to the gym, even though it's punishment. That person will never go to the gym.
They'll go once, they won't come back.
You can't do budget management because you have to do budget management, even though it's the most horrible thing in the world. You have to think positively about what you're doing. Paying
I'll
off
agree
your
with
house
that.
should give you positive. When
Ken,
you go through that process,
2024,
you
you've
feel
gotten
good about
so
it.
much more passionate. I can feel the passion coming out. Wow.
You have to feel good about what you're doing, otherwise you're going to be a miserable person.
Well, sometimes you have to feel good about the end result.
I'm telling you, you should feel good about filing bankruptcy because it's going to feel good to get
That's
rid of the
true.
debt.
It will feel good to get
Feel
rid of the debt,
positive.
but
You
should
nobody's
feel
ever
good
happy
about
about
debt.
the amount of debt that they're in.
No,
And you
I
got to
agree.
feel good that you're not going to redo it all over again. The key is not getting back in all that debt.
Once you get rid of
Well,
the debt,
that's the key
credit
to
cards are bonus points. Credit cards pay you money when you manage them correctly because you pay them off,
Pay 'em off.
and they give you money.
Pay 'em
They
off.
are wonderful toys. I use them to buy presents for my grandchildren. Free. I love that. And travel. But you have to get on top of them. You can't let them run your life.
You
And
can
working
do all
out
that
is the same
now
thing.
because you got on top of them 60 years ago. You're not in the thing, so it gives you opportunity to have a good retirement now.
Yes. But I didn't get on top of it when I was 40. I didn't get on top of it until I was 55 because I grew up in a family that was always in debt, and I didn't grow up with a family with a father like Brian who was training me with the idea of the evils of credit card debt as a young
No, my
as a young
father
person.
didn't do that. It just happens to be an occupational hazard from dealing with so much
You see
debt.
it.
I see the misery that's created
it.
through this
It is,
debt.
yeah, and-
I also see the joy in the elimination of the debt.
I
So
saw it with my father. My father got to retirement age. He had no house, so he had to pay for an apartment. He had no savings. He had credit card debt. He had a car payment, and he had car insurance, which they rip you off when you're elderly. Because probably correctly so, because he drove like Mr. Magoo. But in that situation, it's a horrendous situation. Fortunately for my father, I could help him. But I said to myself, All the people like my father who don't have children that are able to help them financially are completely screwed.
Yep.
Completely
So on
screwed.
the elder law side, right now, be passionate. How much of those credit card debt did the kids pay off after he died?
Zero.
Why?
In my case,
They're not responsible.
I stopped paying credit cards while he was living. Once I could finally convince him to hand me the credit cards and the bills, I stopped paying them.
And how much did they sue him?
Chase, I had his power of attorney. Chase called me up and said, you know, we'd like to settle with you. And I said to him, have you ever seen The Godfather?
Okay.
And he said, yes. I said, good. My offer is nothing. And the collector laughed and said, come on, are you serious? I said, yes, I'm serious. Why would I pay you anything? He's on Social Security, which you can't touch. He has no money. Sue him. I will accept the papers. Send me the papers. I will accept them, and I will give you a judgment. You can't collect it. So why would I pay you anything? So the guy calls me back 2 weeks later. He says, you don't remember me? He says, yeah, you're the guy who says my offer is nothing. Do you want to settle? I said to him, no, why are you calling me? The offer is nothing. Sue him. We never paid him a penny.
Perfect. And then he
It would have
died.
been stupid to pay.
And then you don't have to pay.
He had no estate.
Nobody owes it after he dies. Don't pay it. The hardest job for me is ripping the pen out of the wife's hand because she's dying to write a check to that
I
credit
tell the
card.
client, just write deceased
Yeah.
and send back put it in the mail and send it back to him.
Yeah.
I don't worry about opening an estate. I don't worry anything. Just they won't come after you unless you give them notice. Is really what it comes down to. But it's the bottom line is this is about it's not we don't live in the nicest world. Let's be honest, okay? Everybody isn't out there trying to help you. You have to help yourself. And if you're in a position where you have a choice where you can pay the credit card or you can not pay the credit card and you can save that money for yourself and for your family, that's the choice you make. What do we counsel people to do? We counsel people to look out for themselves. The banks will take care of themselves. I don't think J.P. Morgan Chase is going to run into financial difficulty if Albert Gross at 91 didn't pay his credit card to them. Whereas paying the credit card could have left him without money to eat.
He's paid that credit card a million times
A
over.
million times over. But he should have been working out. Because working out when you're older keeps you alive and healthy and keeps the blood flowing.
I can't disagree with that.
So there is no stigma to bankruptcy. You got to get over that. Is it something you want? No, but it's a choice of alternatives. What's your better outcome? You have to think about in your retirement, are you going to have money to live off of? Take a break. We'll come back and wrap it up.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP.
We were just spinning. We just didn't know what was going to happen next.
At Samasco Law, we deal with these issues every day, especially elder law. Pat went to work for Fran.
Patrick was there holding my hand, kept saying, we'll get through this, we'll get through this.
He got her husband Medicaid and in a nursing home. Samasco Law got the success they deserved.
Samasco Law is definitely family to me. I really appreciate knowing all of you.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Time for announcements. I want to announce THAV GROSS has opened a new office downriver in the Horizon building on Eureka Road. So now we're in Flint, downriver, and also our home office in Bingham Farms. Remember, you can always come in for a free consultation. You can do it by Zoom conference, in the office, any way that works best for you. Just call 888-235-HELP or go to the website, thavgross.com, to sign up. Debt issues, tax issues, estate planning issues, business law issues, elder law issues with Pat or Kelsey, disability issues with Jeff Kirshner. Again, sign up at lawandreality.com or thavgross.com or just call 888-235-HELP. Also, if you go to the website, you'll see there's free reports. Resolving Tax Problems, The Real Solutions by Jeff Linden and myself. Bankruptcy, Is It Right for Me by Brian Small. How to Save Your Home from Foreclosure. Business Formations, Loans and Grants for Small Businesses in Detroit and Michigan. And The Retiree's Guide to Social Security by Pat Simasko. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV Gross, Simasko Law, Kirshner Law. Now back to the show.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirshner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
All right, so we said Chapter 7, but we also want to talk about getting rid of tax debt. Can you use Chapter 7 to get rid of tax debt?
You can use Chapter 7 to get rid of tax debt.
Now, does your wife think that that's immoral too?
Oh, it's not the
You should pay
immoral
your
part
taxes?
of it. It's
Do you
not
think
the
it's
immoral.
a stigma to not pay your taxes?
God, it would be great to not have to pay taxes.
Is there anyone out there who thinks it's bad not to pay your taxes if you can get away with it?
Her. And now if you take the deductions, my wife is the biggest Democrat on the planet right until the day she has to write the check to the IRS. Right?
Yeah, my
There's a lot
ex-wife
of
was like
those out
that
there.
too. When she was in
Totally,
training,
totally.
she was like, we would do the taxes. She's like, we need to pay these taxes. Why are you doing the write-offs? But you have to, it's important for social services. This is when she was basically getting paid pennies to be a slave. She was a physician. Then she got a real job, and she got her first real paycheck, which was missing a substantial part. And she's like,
What
where's
happened
all my
to all
money? Where's it going? He's like, well, those would be the taxes.
I have rarely met a physician that after they became a physician and started making good income, they didn't at least become a Republican when it came to paying taxes.
Yes.
Right, at least in April or
See,
October.
there's a shift in questions there.
Yeah.
I feel as though fiscally, I side to the Republican side of things as well. I think we
Fiscally conservative,
Yes.
socially liberal.
Yes, but I think that taking money away from IRS for enforcement is a ridiculous mistake. People that pay income tax are at a disadvantage in being taken advantage by those people that are not paying taxes. The wealthy that have loopholes that are not available to the middle class are getting an unfair advantage. The people that are working for cash and are not paying taxes are causing the middle class people who pay taxes to pay more taxes. And those people are also foolish because they have no Social Security when they get to retirement. So the idea of taking money away from enforcement, I find it to be objectionable
It's
as a
counterintuitive.
fiscal conservative person.
It's counterintuitive. It doesn't make sense because enforcement creates more tax dollars coming to the government, which therefore would allow for lower taxes.
I would favor an electronic money system. Get rid of the cash in the system, and then everything is
Well,
reported.
we're
and
going
picked
there.
up.
We'll be there. It might be 15, 20 years, but we'll be there.
It's on the way. Yep.
The people that would object to it the most are the ones that are hiding cash and that are not reporting their income. But that unreported income, and I understand they look at it and say, I can't afford to pay the taxes. None of us can afford to pay the taxes. We have to pay the taxes. And if everyone reports their income, then the people that are reporting their income now, their taxes will go down.
Yeah, but for those people that have tax problems, yes, income
Can-
taxes are dischargeable.
How?
If they came due at least 3 years ago, have been filed for at least 2 years, and haven't been assessed in the last 8 months, we can get rid of them in a bankruptcy.
Okay, so what
If
if
it's
they...
not a bankruptcy, though, that's where Jeff comes in.
Yep. So
And then
if you can't discharge them in bankruptcy, there's a whole number of tools in our toolbox, ranging from an offer and compromise, which is settlement, paying less than you owe, payment plans, not collectible status, payment plans, leveraging the statute of limitations. The government has a limit on the time that it can collect taxes from you if you've filed your return or you've been assessed.
All right, so it's January, and it's 2024. We got a minute left. If you're out there and you haven't filed for the last 4 years, and you're losing sleep at night because you're worried about your tax problem, because you know that it's criminal, you know there's penalties accruing, you know they're eventually going to find you, but you can't get over the hump of dealing with it. Here's my advice. Deal with it. You will be amazed at how simple it is for us to solve the problem. Everyone who comes in who's in that mode, and we see tons of people that way, they always say the same thing. The best night of sleep I had in the last
Amen.
5 years was the
Amen.
day after I came in and saw
Worrying
you.
about it's way worse.
Way worse.
Way,
It's
way, way
a
worse.
very, we get the returns filed, we get you either in an offer and compromise, we wait time and file a bankruptcy for the 2 years to the run, or we get a payment plan. It's a solvable problem. Have a great week. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality.